Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Pena, broadcasting today from the Center for Positive Media. I am joined in studio by Dan Bushell, the CEO of Modigent. Dan, a lot to celebrate here today.
There surely is. Carrie, great to see you again.
We first met when you were launching the Modigent brand 1 year ago. So much has happened. Can you believe how far you've come in a year?
It's been an amazing year. We set out a set of goals for ourselves as an organization, and we've, for the most part, hit everything we had established for ourselves as goals. But first, I should mention and I want to thank everybody at Modigent for the efforts they put forward, because without our people in the organization, of course, we wouldn't achieve those great milestones that we've been able to accomplish this year.
When I first met you and I asked you what is your number one goal, and you said people first, people first. You came up through the ranks of your industry and you want to lead always with people in mind. What do you consider to be your biggest wins over the past year?
Well, I think if you think about it from the perspective of people, we've acquired a basket of companies this year, so we've expanded our footprint all down the Atlantic seaboard. So we are now in all of the states, from Virginia southward. We expanded into Florida, and we also made a first entry into California. Along with that, we've added approximately 500 more people to our organization. And why is that important to me and important to us? Because part of what a company like ours does when we acquire companies is we create futures for companies that may not necessarily have them. So as these companies are generally founder-driven, purchased by, built by a founder, when the founder is getting ready to retire or getting ready to move on away from the company, as we all will do at some point in time, we provide that company an opportunity of viability, but not just viability, but great future for their people. So I would say one of the things I'm most proud of relative to people is that we've added 500 new souls to our organization, and we've given them an opportunity to thrive inside of our environment.
You put tremendous focus on the digital elements and having your folks train in some AI. Talk a little bit about that.
Yep. Well, we recognize that the economy is being driven in many cases, by digitalization, right? So we provide cooling systems, technology systems, energy reducing systems for clients. And so therefore, as these digital requirements in the economy grow, so does our opportunity to provide support services to those customers. But as it relates to inside of our own company, we're part of the economy as well. And so we're taking advantage of the digital opportunities for us, if you will. Now that encompasses both platforms and systems for us to operate our business, but it also incorporates a bit of artificial intelligence, and we're exploring those areas through both training and development with my leadership team, as well as other opportunities to understand how we can apply those practices to our business. Not because we want to be more efficient as it relates to cost and overhead. That's not the principle of this. The principle is we face a workplace shortage in many positions that we try to hire for, and therefore we're looking for opportunities to enhance the great people we have today through the application of technologies.
What is next for Modigent? $500 million, and you are on an upward trajectory.
That's correct. So we have our eyes set on $1 billion, as would be logical. At $500 million, you look to the next milestone. We look for $1 billion. But along the way, we are going to be enhancing our ability to provide customers energy outcomes for their properties. Right now, we provide a whole host of services: controls, plumbing, HVAC, other systems that allow a building to operate at maximum efficiency. But we primarily bring those to customers in a manner that's consistent with their desire to have a good project or a good service or good outcome as it relates to what they're directly purchasing from us. What we want to be able to do is bring to them a solution that allows them to meet their business goals, primarily around decarbonization and digitization. And so we are seeking out and working with energy firms, and probably will add an energy firm to our organization in this next year as part of our strategy, to give us the opportunity to present the customer value proposition to customers through the eyes of carbon reduction in their own energy footprint.
When people look at your numbers and what you've achieved over this last year, I have to imagine there's folks who say, like, you're leading the company, you're doing something really right. As the leader, what do you look at and say, this is something that we have mastered and we want to continue down this path?
I would say it's culture. As you know me, I'm a culture-based leader, so I think that driving a culture that are creating an environment where our employees can be their best, right? That's super important for us. And my mindset is you get great people with high degrees of talent, and if you create the right environment for them to flourish, you'll have a great organization. So we focus on those things. Now we also have business type strategies. Continue to expand our geography. We'll continue to grow our business geographically across the United States. I mentioned we're going to be adding an energy focused product line to our business. We'll be enhancing our controls operations in many of our locations, so we'll have a better building automation systems in most of our operations, and these all lead to the same thing, which is a consolidated outcome on behalf of the customers. The other thing we're doing this year as it relates to people is we are expanding our sales force, both through new talent into the organization, bringing new folks in, and providing them with a great 8-month boot camp through a training program that we've developed that allows them to really reach their full potential as salespeople.
There's a lot of upward momentum possibilities for folks who join your company, and you designed it that way.
That's correct. We continually look for ways to develop and grow our people. Succession planning is a big area of the business right now. In fact, Susanna, our CPO, is working on our 5-year succession plan, and that includes myself and herself and everyone else in the organization. And how do we grow and develop those individuals, and then providing them with the right training and development opportunities. And Susanna's organization is something that we talked about before. We've grown our human resources group significantly in the last year. It's something else we're quite proud of from 2023, and we're going to really start to reap the benefits of their engagement this year, primarily, or not primarily, but in this particular subject that we're discussing, in learning and development. So we've added a vice president of learning and development and an organization underneath that individual that is tasked with providing both external, internal, and hybrid curriculum to allow all of our people to get the training necessary to reach their potential. I think that's super important for us, and I think that's what will carry us into the future.
And finally, when you're seeing this kind of explosive growth, how do you hold on to that core culture that you care so much about?
Well, there's a couple of things that we work on. First, let me say this: we talk about it all the time as a management team, and we are deeply committed to it and concerned about that very question. How do you scale an organization, continue to scale an organization where you don't lose the cultural underpinnings that have allowed you to rise to a certain level? So one of the things we do is we have a lot of communication with our people. So we talk to our folks a lot. We have an organizational design that allows folks in the organization to be engaged with others within the organization throughout the year, through meetings, through town halls, through all that type of stuff. That's standard stuff. Again, learning and development is a demonstration of our culture. It's not, so we don't say, okay, we're going to train you, and that's because we train, that's our culture. But as we train folks, they start to get an understanding of what's important to us. So our behaviors and the things we invest in demonstrates the culture of the organization. So we're hopeful that that demonstration will also carry us to scale. And then also, I think that as a leader, and I'm not a stern leader, but as a leader, I do hold all of us accountable for the culture that we espouse to.
Mm-hmm. And including yourself. I know you've
Absolutely
talked
myself.
about that with me.
It all starts with me.
Yeah, Dan, congratulations.
Thank you.
Huge success. Appreciate you spending a few minutes to talk about that and what's next for Modigent.
Always a pleasure to be with you.
Thanks to all of you for watching. I'm Carrie Pena.